Ladies, gentlemen, and disappointments, we are coming to you live from the Woman Caves in New York and Connecticut. My name is Leslie.
And my name is Melissa.
And we are Verbally Disastrous. Hey, what's up, girl?
Testing. One, two, three. Testing.
Big bowls in your mouth.
Eat a dick.
Hello, everyone. For today's podcast episode, we have labeled it The Joys of No Children. We have two guests with us today. We have Vanessa calling in from Las Vegas, and I have Juana calling in from Brooklyn. Say hello first, Vanessa.
Hi.
And Juana, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Juana from 678 Brooklyn.
Very good, very good. So now our topic today, we have the two ladies calling in, Vanessa and Juana, because they have a commonality. They both are women who chose to not have children. I have a series of questions. I'll start with Juana, and then when she finishes, then Vanessa, whatever you have to contribute, by all means. And Melissa's here as well.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. What's three aspects from your life where you're truly satisfied in reference to not having children? Go ahead, Juana.
Number one, I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it.
Okay.
And not have to worry about, picking up the kids at school or doing anything for that matter. Number two, I always felt that I really wanted to be responsible for someone else's life, like 100%.
Okay.
So I'm glad I don't have that. And number three, I saw someone be the person, and I was like, yeah, that's not for me.
How about yourself, Vanessa? What's your three aspects where you're truly satisfied in regards to not having children?
Well, one is definitely is freedom, so that's kind of along the same lines as what Juana was saying. Two, the aspect also is money. My money is all my money. I don't have to spend it on anybody else or any other bullshit. And number three, I come first. And that's the most important. Only me, myself, and I. That's the most important people in the world.
My next question would be three aspects in your life where you wish you could make some changes in regards, say, to kids. Go ahead, Juana.
I do love, I have a big family, so I do love seeing my sisters around older kids. Especially on Mother's Day, they will make little parties for my sisters and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That part I wish I had. Also, the teaching part. When you see a mother sitting or a father sitting with a child doing homework and that kind of stuff. I enjoy that when my nieces come over for a couple of hours. After that, then I'm good. What else? Let's see. And also, just taking, if you have a daughter, taking her shopping, doing her hair, that kind of stuff. Those things I would like.
I wouldn't even know what to do with a girl, would you, Melissa?
Well,
Yeah, boys.
I did my niece's hair once, and she's like, okay, thanks, Tia, but that's not the way Daddy does it. Like, if I did it worse than my brother-in-law, that's bad.
You're out of practice.
100%.
How about you, Vanessa? What are three aspects in your life you wish you could change?
Relating to kids, absolutely none whatsoever. I have zero intelligence. I have zero calling. It's like opposite. It's like two magnets. I want nothing to do with it. I really don't. I have no regrets. I come from a small family. My sister was, born with a severe disability she had. Her responsibilities was given to me when I was younger. So I really don't have any. I don't have a need. I don't have a want. I don't look at parents, longingly, when they have kids, I want to run away.
I was just gonna remind you. Well, you remember Johnny's 6'2", probably 250 pounds now. But back when he was, what was he, like 6 months or 9 months? She had came over. I think it was a rainy night. It wasn't a rainy night, but it was at night. I think you had the bike, and we were hanging out for a barbecue, and she looked nervous as hell. And I was like, no big deal. So I went to do like a hand, almost like a swinging, like, woo, right? And then she was doing one of those, I got to intercept this baby. What the hell? There's a photo of her holding John, if you could believe he was little at one point.
I was stiff to the rock. You're like, don't worry, it's not going to break.
Yeah. It was so damn funny. As far as like, we covered life lessons like joys, is there anything that one could think of as far as the positives of, say, having a kid, like from your perspective? Not necessarily for you, because you've said there's no piece of it that you want. Something that you acknowledge would be a positive. Say if you had an oops. Lineage.
You know, carry on your family, whether it be a boy to carry on your name or whether it be a female, carry on your genetics, things along those lines. Maybe as you get older, we tend to, I don't know, I look at people and kids tend to forget their parents anyway, kind of strong, but some don't. But, I see a lot of them, you get older, your circles, as you get older, your circle becomes smaller and smaller, and I'm sure, you can pretty much rationalize with that. Even as we become adults, our circle of friends becomes very small. And as you get older into like your geriatric years, your senior years, I think the circles can become super small. So it depends very much on family for that connectivity. So I can get it from, I can understand something along those lines. I have a white process that I should really be worried about it, but sometimes it pops into my head, but not for very long. It's usually just succeeding instance. I'm a weirdo like that, it's just, I used to try and make excuses, not so much excuses, but, try to, smooth it over when people would ask me, because even when I worked with these guys, when I first started working with them, the first thing's like, you never wanted kids, Vanessa, I've never been married. So, then they ask me those questions, and now, I used to kind of feel a little, like very, I don't know how to say it, not insecure, but kind of put on the spot as being much different than the societal norm. Yeah. So, and now I just blurt it out as it is, and I could care less. So that's part of that age too. But for the one, it'll probably just be like lineage and just having that connectivity as you get older.
Understood. How about you, Juana?
I definitely agree with Vanessa. In my case, I have a humongous family. I have 8 sisters on each side and 1 brother. So I have about 30.
She's got a big family.
Yeah. So I have a huge family. But one thing that I see that takes on Mother's Day, I go to my mom's, and you see all the kids around, kid have and how she has that support network that if she needs anything, there's going to be 30 something of us that are willing to help. Mm-hmm. Like that part, I do, I try not to think about it, but I do see myself like being in my 70s or 80s or something, and I wonder, who's going to be around me at that time.
But you have such a large family.
Yeah. But like Vanessa said, I usually think about it, and usually lasts 5 minutes, and I have a glass of wine, and I'm good.
Now, are there items on, say you have a bucket list? Melissa and we're the ones who I had 2 boys, and Melissa had 1 boy. Now, there's certain things that when we had kids, we've spent our whole time as single moms or married with people. Now, there's only certain things that you can accomplish with the bucket list. Now, would you say that your bucket list items have been checked off more, or would you say that having a job kind of keeps you, or circumstances, and not necessarily kids, would be to blame for you not crossing off items off your bucket list?
I don't really have, I don't know if I actually have, per se, a bucket list of things itemized that I want to do before I die. I kind of live for the day-to-day, and I try to do whatever it is that makes me happy for that point of time. Let's just say if I did have an itemized thing for extensive travel or things, I think that would family and responsibilities definitely come into play. But like everything else, life does get in the way, right? So regardless of relationships, of the people that you choose to commit your time with, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. There are aspects of needs and things like that in life also come to play and do overlap into your time, unless you're just like living the vagabond life on solo, just traveling around the world.
Yeah.
So,
did you remember?
I do think life does get in the way every now and again, but without having those responsibilities, it does make it easy to at least it won't be sidelined forever, but only be sidelined perhaps temporarily.
Gotcha. Not like for 21 years or 18 when you have a kid. Like that's the bare minimum that will hold you. Gotcha. How about you, Juana?
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. Like I don't think I have a list of like a bucket list of things that I really wanted to do, but like some years ago, I decided that I've had it with the job that I had, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Europe. I went to Switzerland, England, France, Italy, and I feel like if I had a child, that was gonna be 100% out of the question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started my bucket list after I raised my child, and I was like, great, I'm doing this, that, and the other thing, and I got most of it done, and I'm still going.
Well, good for you, right? So, but I really don't think that it stopped me from doing anything specific because, like I said, I didn't really have a list.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I feel like at least I'm open to opportunities because I don't have someone that I have to take care of and have to think about before I make that decision. Right. At least that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it is shedded off of us because our kids are older. Used to feel like there's so many hoops. You'd have to set up daycare. Say you want, because I often would go one week a year away.
And it was more or less money. If you had friends, I had my son when I was young. So when I get pissed off at him, I call him, I should have named him Hoops. So I was one and done. Like if the girls were going away or doing something, because I had him, they were all still like engaged, say. So I had him, and if they were going to do something, I more or less usually didn't have the money to do anything. Between, your car, your rent, everything else, taking care of a child, you just didn't have it. I was always offset. Like I had him first, and then when he was 7 or 8, all my friends started having kids then. So I was done before they were, and I was like, oh, I'm off track again. So
yeah. It's from the time we've known each other. What have we known each other? Melissa and I have known each other, 16 years or something, and then that was when Johnny was little, and then now, the past year?
But wait a minute. John could be the poster boy for birth control. He was a pain in the ass. That kid would slay me. I'd go home and have to have a drink. Like, oh, John!
Usually when his dad would get mad, when we make fun of him using his dad's voice, we're like, John?
He's much better now, though.
Yeah, but he has his stupid moments.
Yes, he has his moments.
Yeah. When they get older, I always used to say Tom was a fucking terror. One time he spray painted at his uncle's house in the garage. They're all playing, I want to say it was Christmas Eve, because that's usually when we go down there. They found a can of spray paint, and I want to say he had a 7 Series BMW, and Tom was down there with the spray paint, like spray paint in the car, and he wasn't around. Yeah, he wasn't allowed around the house for a little while. I made him write a letter apologizing to his uncle. It almost sounded like when you read it, it was like, oh, this is really sappy. He got it, though, but he never fucked around again. It was just like one of those moments where, man, can these kids stop embarrassing me?
But when my son did it, he got caught by the cops, had his friend's dog, so I had to go to the police station, pick the dog up behind the fence, get him out of there. I was like, are you kidding me? And I always told him, don't say a word. Wait till I get there. Of course, he told them what he wrote and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, you jackass. But they learned.
Some of the stuff you remember when they were younger, you would never realize, like, wow, they're actually doing good adult things, like getting a job and then the house and stuff like that. Your son's got the nice place and the good job and stuff.
My son will be 30 now in September. And it took him a long time to get his act together. So he gave me a hard time. There was a lot of hitting, screaming, yelling. When he was like 17, he didn't want to finish school. He was like in a trade school. So he went to go live with his dad. And when he did that, I went back to school so I could finish what I was doing. And of course, he came back, did the back and forth thing, but now he's doing good. He's got a good job with the Marvel Union. He just bought a house. so he's doing well. But it took a while. So kids to me can be stressful. I had him at 22.
I was 19.
I don't think I was even thinking about furthering myself in life yet. I was still having a good old time.
Trying to figure yourself out,
right,
too.
Taking a couple classes, figure out what I wanted to do. So after I had him, and then when me and his dad split, I was like, shit, I got this kid to raise. I went to school, and I got my LPN. I did that for 10 years, and I finally went back and got my RN, which is better because you make more money, and I got a lot more opportunity. I traveled on that, everything else. So in a way, for me, I never even thought about, like, I always thought I wanted kids, but I never gave myself that time to really think about it. It was just do, go, I had him, he's mine.
I kind of felt like it was a normal procession because I got married at 18 and then had Tom at 19. So it almost felt like that was something that you were supposed to do. But I think, like, as an older person, I've always wondered, like, what the hell would it be like to not have to go through that whole timeline? Kids are 10 years apart, so what is it, like 30 years?
I kind of think if I didn't have him, well, where would I be
Where
today?
would you do, yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't have went to school because I knew I had to get a better job and do what I had to do. So
when you see the ladies, they were saying that even if they didn't have the kids, life shows up, right?
Yeah, life shows up. You're young and make stupid decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Dream about being an electrician? Hell no, I didn't. You have dreams and those are the things that you want to do, but life gives you opportunities that you have to take them at the time as you make decisions. Dumb decisions. It doesn't necessarily always have to revolve around kids. It's just
exactly right. No, yeah, we all do that.
Yeah,
and it leads us into a certain path.
I kind of felt like I was young and broke anyways, so might as well have a kid because you kind of felt like if you're young and broke anyways, might as well be strapped with a kid. I don't know. Now, would you say as you guys have gotten older, do people give you more shit about not having kids, or do they feel like once you get to a certain age, because it's fair to say that we're all around the same age bracket?
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm 21. What do you
Lies. like in your 20s, you would expect people to give you a hard time, like friends and family and stuff. Once we hit our 40s, people are like, never mind, I'm not even going to talk to her about it anymore. What do you think, Juana?
In my case, I mean, my grandmother on my mother's side, like, every time she used to see me, she used to be like, are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant yet? I remember going back home to the Dominican Republic, and we saw this lady who basically lived next door to us, where I grew up. And she said to my mom, I said, I'm not there, right? She was like, is she sick? My mom was like, what do you mean? Well, she's been married for like 2 years, and she doesn't have a child. My mom was like,
wow.
You really want to go there? Because my mom knows my mom, and that's one of the things, like, if you're Spanish, you're 22, 23, like, what is wrong with you? Why don't you have a child? And that was always the mentality. But in my mind, the way I was looking at it was like, there's always that statistic that they expect you, if you're Spanish, you don't graduate college, you don't even graduate high school, but you get pregnant by like 19 or so. And I always said that I wasn't going to be me.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's one of the things that sort of made me, I don't know, not maybe be against having children, but I was always thinking about that. Like, I don't want that to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I give you guys credit. I think that's kind of good that you knew up front that you didn't want that, because you got a lot of people in this world that
like
have
swaying
kids,
you,
and
yeah.
they really they shouldn't, you know. So that's really kudos to you. And you did your thing.
Absolutely. Say Juana's culture, she's got more people pushing her, and probably far more intense, say, than my family. I mean, I don't even think anybody would have gave me crap if I had a kid young, but
right.
I don't think they would have gave me a hard time if I said that's not my choice.
Right.
How about you, Vanessa? Did you have people as you got older, they stopped pushing you, or you didn't really?
I don't really, like I said, I was explaining before, my family's very small. It's just really, I had just an extended family of my parents and my grandparents on my mother's side, and didn't really know my father's side. So there wasn't anybody. My grandmother used to tell me, just basically, sometimes she would joke, you're gonna have to learn to cook when you get married. And I tell grandma I'll never get married. And she'd be like, just curse me and chat. And it's true, when you have kids, I'm like, I'm not gonna have kids. We're 20. Like, I knew that even as a preteen. that urge just wasn't there. I never played doll. I didn't have it. But nobody ever brought it up to me. My parents never brought it up to me. Nothing. It was never a conversation. So
that's cool that you didn't get that. In Juana's case, would you say it used to get under your skin? Like, how did you feel?
I used to get annoyed sometimes because, like, I know Vanessa talked about playing with dolls and that kind of stuff. Like, I grew up in the countryside, so to me, I was always like into horses, playing baseball, like not doing girly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up in the Caribbean and the Spanish country, it's like, you know, you're a girl, so they give you dolls, they give you a little kitchen set. Like, they sort of like preparing you for this life that you really don't want to have.
Understood.
You know, so I always feel like this kind of pressure. Like, my parents would never really say it, but like my sisters will be like, "What are you waiting for? You know, you're getting old, this, that, and the other." Like at first, it used to bother me, but after that, I was like, whatever. Just say whatever you want. I love my life the way it is, and I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Vanessa.
Let me ask you this. So do you really think, you know, I've heard it from this perspective, you know, when people try to push their, and I get it, you know, it's Hispanic culture, but even besides that, you know, the people that kind of push their, you know, their ideals and their thoughts upon you, do you think it's because they're jealous of maybe how you live and they want you to kind of join in their misery?
I think so. I really do. I'm not joking because, like I said, I mean, there were times that I was like, you know what? I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. And those family members that were always pushing me and asking me about having kids never really left the country. They never did anything, you know?
It's either that, either they want to be in your shoes, or that society and upbringing between culture and being stereotyped. People sometimes, realize what they're doing when they say that. Because if you don't want children, don't have children. There's nothing wrong with that. They want to make an issue out of it, maybe because that's their thought process or how they were raised. Everybody wanted to follow suit. You jumped off the track. You know what I mean? Which is fine.
Hell yeah.
You don't want children.
It takes a lot of courage to go against a bunch of pushback. That's something that not everybody has the balls to be able to stand up and say, that's not what I want. I'm thinking about the people who get married. That's like another topic. When someone goes and gets married and they're stuck in a relationship, oftentimes they're trying to get other people to join the club. But usually if you survey a bunch of people, a lot of people when it comes to being married or having kids, they don't realize how it is until they're in it.
Yeah.
And you're stuck. You can't go put it back in the vagina. Once it's out, it's out. I know, right? Did either of you inherit some new fears along the way? Getting older, some sort of fear, maybe relation to kids.
I really don't have any fears, and I just kind of, go with the flow.
Yeah.
I kind of plan for my future, but our future is not guaranteed.
No.
There's no guarantee. So I just kind of, just move along in my merry way. I'm not afraid of anything. I have no regrets. I'm not afraid.
How about you, Juana?
I don't think I have any fears either. I mean, the way I see it is like I know I have a big family, but every single decision that I make revolves around me because I take care of me. I don't take care of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I do pay attention to what decisions I'm going to make and when I'm going to make them and how, but I know that whatever decisions I make, they're going to affect me mainly and only me. So, I don't think I'm afraid of anything. I love my life the way it is, and I honestly don't feel any regrets of the decision that I have made.
Now, either one of you dating men, have you ever ran into a crossroads where the guy that you were dating wanted you to go against your choice? Vanessa?
When it came to marriage, I mean, that happened young, because, again, you're going back to, into like the 20s, and you see your friends, getting married, this, that, and the other, and I think I had one, It was like one of my serious, one of my first serious boyfriends, like right out of my teens, like before the age of like 21. And he was like, oh, you know, I don't know, pushing for marriage. And it's funny, it's like, you know, I feel like, you know, my friends used to make fun of me because they used to compare me to South Park, Smile, because every time, you know, someone said they love him, he would grow up. And that's exactly what I would do. I don't know what it is, but I don't, I've always had a fear. Here we go. So
Fear, yeah.
Not a fear like in relation to, you know, my choices, but I do have a problem with commitment. Okay. I do.
Totally understand that. It takes a lot of, like the same thing with kids, compromise.
I like an escape.
Yeah.
That's me. I like to be able to, if things aren't going the way I want them to go, and that's a control thing I have a little bit, I want out. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get out. And I don't want to be bound to anybody for any reason. And I think it's kind of like old-fashioned ideas, you know, today's day and age. Does it really matter if you're committed to somebody? You don't have to be locked in to the law. You can still be committed to somebody, and then when shit doesn't work out, you go kind of go.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, the getaway is easier. No paperwork, no nothing.
Yeah.
This is mine. I'm out the door. Boom, and that's it.
I do think about that whole, how much when you're in a relationship, I mean, because all of us end up having our own careers and have things to lose if you get with somebody and the shit doesn't work out. All of a sudden, now I got to spend all this money on divorce, and now this asshole wants this and that. We've never taken anybody's money or any of that other nonsense either. The thought of being stuck in something.
Getting married is not on my bucket list. The world would explode. But if you meet somebody that you compromise with, or it could be good, before I would do anything, you'd make sure I'd get to a lawyer and have it in stipulation. If we split for whatever reason, what you came with, you go. What's mine is mine. Your name is not going on my house. No. It's not going on my credit cards.
I don't want my name on your shit either.
So, like you said, I probably wouldn't get married. You could live together if that's what you choose. But why do all that? Because legally, there's probably some way they can get through. I don't even want to deal with any of that at this age. No way. Never have. Never have.
We always end up with somebody that tries their best to try to change it a little bit. Same stuff. I think about the whole, like, the kid thing, having and not. I've always wondered, probably said it a million times, like, what I could have done.
Right, if you didn't have them.
Yeah. And the money, saving the money. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I liked kids, so I thought I would have them, right?
Yeah,
and I would prefer to have, like, a bunch of boys. You had one, and it teaches you a lesson. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy at all.
No, the daycare thing was the biggest, to me, out of like everything, the daycare was the most stressful.
Right, money-wise, but even raising another life, because you instill with them what you were taught, whatever that may be. When they get older and they make different decisions that you might not agree with, you have to remember, now it's their life.
Society likes to push it like, oh, that's your kid. And then, well, they're free to do what
Vanessa,
they want to do.
you were 100% right about saying as your kids get older, they do break away. They find their own life. Yeah. They might not want to have children do anything. And now you're done. So you've given all this time up, and you're not going to get a dime of it back. That's inevitable.
You could be in the same boat.
It's never going to be enough, which is okay, but it is true. They do tend to go. But then again, they're humans also who are going to live their life. They might want to move to Hawaii or do something else. You're not going to stop them.
No. Let them do what they need to do.
So, you're right.
This concludes Part A on the joys of no children. Head back in and look for Part B to finish the discussion with Vanessa and Juana. Stay tuned.
This wraps up another episode on the Verbally Disastrous podcast that can be found on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. For more information, head over to www.constructiontales.com. Thank you for listening, and have a great one.